Nice to meet you, Eric. Do a handshake.
How nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Right, this is...
Glad to see you still alive.
It's very windy, isn't it? Yeah, why don't you sit down? So, how old are you now? You're 60...
67 now, mate.
67 years old. And you've built this farm. How much did you build it from? Just tell me just a quick little thing.
I'd seen this car for sale on the internet at Churcham Garage, which were the importers of it. They buy 4x4s in Japan, bring them over to the UK. Went down to see it because I'd looked at the engine, and with the bit of experience I got, I knew how much money had been put into the engine build on it. Couldn't do a deal with the guy. At that stage it was running, well, it's supposed to be 500 horsepower, but it wasn't doing that because it got a Z32 airflow meter on, which wasn't capable of doing 500 horsepower with the amount of air it could flow. And it took me 6 months of phoning the guy up and saying, have you sold the car yet? Because he wanted too much money plus my old Skyline. And in the end I swapped him 2 cars for it, but it was probably January, February I went to see it, and it was the end of July when I actually bought it. And that was going back 12 years ago, something like that. 12 years. So it had an awful lot done. I had the unfortunate problem of my wife finding Western Performance when I was trying to find a rolling road that could remap my old grey Skyline, and got ripped off there and had some very bad work done on this, and some very bad mapping done by a guy who people think is a wonderful mapper, but having seen what he'd done to the car when I eventually got to PJ Motorsport and Paul showed me how he'd got rid of debt. Very unimpressive. And they let me down once too often by going back there, booked in with a misfire, and I got a track day at the weekend, and the guy who's done the mapping had just decided to go drifting for the day and left me high and dry with a car with a misfire.
Jeez.
I can't go through all the
no, it's okay.
It's unfair, really.
But
then I went to PJ Motorsport and trust the guy, and been with him ever since. So from there, the suspension's been upgraded.
What suspensions are they?
It's BCER, which is their top of the range dual damper control. Turbo's the Garrett GT35 with the bearing upgrade, because I blew the old RX6 Apexi turbo up. The engine has been absolutely solid, other than sort of taking cam covers off to paint them, and we checked that the cams were HKS 264s, and all of the work that we've that was documented as being done on the engine build, when we've been able to check it, it's got what it says it has. So it's been absolutely solid, the engine. I mean, it makes 665 horsepower. We had it up to 700 on the dyno every time without any issues and whatnot. So it's a really good solid car.
What exhaust modification did you do on the car? Did you choose it, or was it already like that?
It now runs a HKS 104mm pipe going onto a titanium back box. Before it had a twin barrel drift exhaust on, which I think was about 3.5 inch diameter. So it's quite a big diameter. Comes onto a 3.5 inch downpipe off the back of the turbo, and then onto the 4-inch exhaust.
Excellent. And in terms of the engine build, it's based on a of an RB25, but because of the... So you mentioned...
Yeah, it's got GTR N1 internal, so it's a crank, rods and pistons, and that strokes it to a 2.7, well, just under 2.7. So it's running more capacity now than the 2.5.
Okay, and I've seen inside the car, you can see that it's got roll cage.
Came with that from Japan.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. And obviously the dials, that came with it, or did
Yeah, all of those, but the oil pressure gauge has been added onto that since it came. Obviously it's got a different, it used to have an Apexi ECU, and it's now got a HKS ECU with launch control, etc.
Okay, obviously we can see that right here. Now, I got a quick question. Why do people call you Bricktop?
Because apparently I have a temper and I can be quite frightening from my younger days.
Do you know what nemesis means? A righteous infliction of retribution manifested by an appropriate agent. Personified in this case, me.
Okay, and well, what does this red button do?
That's the line lock. So when you're drag racing, when that's switched on,
yeah,
and you pump the foot pedal brakes,
okay, yeah,
that locks the front brakes on. So they're actually locked on once you pump that brake pedal a couple of times.
Yeah.
Rear wheels are still free, so you can do a burnout. Front wheels are locked, and as soon as you knock that down, that releases the pressure on the front brakes and you start moving.
Like a fighter jet, that's crazy. And this one is...
So what that does, it's the biggest aqua sump you can get. It stores basically 6 pints of oil under pressure. It works on a pressure switch, so that if it senses the oil pressure going below 20 psi, it releases that 6 pints of oil into the engine to increase the pressure, give you some protection. That's if you're cornering and the oil pickup's not picking up the oil properly, or for any reason, it protects the engine. So obviously you've got oil pressure gauges, you've got oil temperature gauges, you've got warning lights on those that will come on.
Yeah,
if it drops below what, I can't remember what it's, 20 psi is probably what it's set at.
Yeah.
And you'll get the warning light come on that. And the best idea is, if that happens, is to just stop the car, turn the engine off, and hopefully you can just have a look and make sure there's nothing serious.
Okay. And the steering wheel, and why is this button right here?
That is for changing, so it's a Gredi Profect B boost controller. Okay. And that's a remote switch that allows you to switch between low and high boost.
Interesting, that's crazy. And what made you do that?
Well, if you're drag racing, I was suffering with a lot of rear wheel spin, so I used to launch it on low boost. Yeah. And as soon as we changed the second gear, switched to the high boost. Yeah. So it was really just trying to get a better launch, if I'm honest.
Wow, and obviously the clutch, you've got the...
It's an OS Geiken triple plate clutch, an R3C. Obviously hasn't done a lot of miles because the car's not done a lot of miles since it's done it, but it's obviously a very substantial clutch, probably capable of coping up to, getting on for double the horsepower the car's got, so should be reliable and should last a long time.
So what was the main purpose of this car then? You just pure drag strip, or did you just...
Well, from my point of view, I just wanted a car that got more power, and then the problem is with that, once you get power, you want more power, and it just went on from one to another. As I say, it's running just under 700 horsepower now, which for a rear wheel drive car with no traction control, no safety mods or anything else, it's quite an exciting car.
Wow. And obviously you've got the launch control and the dash.
Shift light. Essentially, if you're drag racing again, you can't afford to look down at your revs when you're trying to look at a track. Yeah. That just goes boing, bright red light, and says change gear. It's pretty foolproof really. and a lot safer than hitting the regular. This car will go through the gearbox very, very quickly when you're running at full power. And really, you just don't want to be hitting the limiter all the while on it.
Yeah, and obviously it's a 5-speed, not the 6-speed. Well, obviously they only come in 5 speeds, don't they? The R33s and R33s.
Yeah, I think if you go away from the 5-speed, and it's a very capable gearbox, quite frankly, the 5-speed box. Copes with the power, providing you're a bit respectful with it. It's got Redline heavy-duty shockproof gear oil in it. So it stands quite a bit of abuse, quite frankly.
Why do you have to use certain oils, certain gear shocks? What's the
Well,
benefit?
because certainly when you're drag racing again, when you're changing from second to third, third to fourth, you literally, as soon as the clutch comes back in, you're flooring the throttle all the while. So the shock of changing gear, if you don't use a gearbox oil that protects the gearbox a bit, you could do some damage to the gearbox quite easily.
Bloody hell. And obviously the whole purpose why you're doing this is you're an absolute crazy person to do this sort of car thing. It's absolutely crazy. And how long have you been doing this now? For about 12 years now, is it? Because you've had the car. Well, or before then?
Oh yeah, I did some stuff with the old car, but say it was never as capable as this. It's quite an eye-opener, quite frankly, to change from that car to this. And
you've always literally just wanted more power?
I've always done bits to it. I've always found bits that can be improved.
And the tyres, you're running semi-slicks?
Yeah, there are 888s which are pretty good for the road apart from standing water. And in the dry they improve the driving ability of it substantially.
Wow, well, I think it's time to hit the roads now.
Go for a cup of tea.
You take sugar?
No, thank you, Turkish. I'm sweet enough.
Yeah, okay.
I need a nap at my age.
Oh, definitely. Let's go see. Have a cup of tea and let's take it for a spin. Let's see what this car is capable of. Reserve lights.
We all do it.
Instantly. 12 years of the car and it's still running strong. One thing is, it's proper noisy, isn't it, this car?
Yeah. Yes, it's still running well.
Oh, that was crazy, that was. Jeez.
But you hear that noise that comes in, that's the screamer pipe.
That's a screamer pipe.
Only comes on when he's running on pretty much full boost, yeah. Takes over from the exhaust pipe.
It's a proper comfortable car though, isn't it?
No, it's not that bad, yeah.
For the safety and the BC coilovers. When you
the old
HKS.
Yeah, that was proper shaky fillings there. Yes, it's nice to drive it again, I have to say.
It's a crazy car to drive. It's absolutely mental, literally. How you got to 70 miles per hour was literally like in seconds. Wow. And obviously the fastest you've been was 186 miles per hour.
Yep.
Wow.
That was at the rev limit raised a bit, yeah. It's hitting the limiter at that. So the car's capable of going quicker, but because you've got a 5-speed box and you've got so many revs, once you reach it, you reach it. great big white line anti-roll bars on. Anti-roll bars.
Does that help the stability of the car?
Yeah. So it stops the actual thing twisting. Onto low boost it's about 580, and then when you switch to high boost, 665.
665, wow.
Which is what you got the prints out for.
Yeah. Of course. The power, what you just did there, speaks for itself, literally.
Well, you know, don't forget you've got really another 150 horsepower to chuck into what we're on at the moment. So. And it's got a lot of torque. I think it's 535 foot-pounds of torque.
So on the drag strip, do you tighten up the coilovers? Do you make them stiffer?
No, I make them, well, yes and no, soft on the back for compression, and hard on the rebound, so that when it's squatted, the rebound's resisting the back of the car coming up, and I basically run the front stiff, so that if it does start to come up, the rebound doesn't allow the front of the car to go down very easily. But track setup is different again.
That's crazy.
That's the R88s for you. You wouldn't do that on the road tyre.
Or would that put spin out?
Yeah, you'd be sliding around all over the place. I've seen the spec of the car still cars are absolutely incredible things.
Triple A's. A lot of people did say they're the best tires to get, really. Well, that was delightful, that was. You got a crazy skill to do that. You gotta have crazy skill. You won't get cars like this again.
No.
That's why they call it Godzilla.
So I've now scared you.
Ah, yeah. And that wasn't even.
You want to come round the racetrack with me?
Oh, God, I'd love to. You
I
know,
say I've really enjoyed teaching Simon because he's quite scared of his car, but I really got him staying in gears instead of changing gear all the while. And, so yeah, it's quite good.
Oh gosh. But that was a hell of a ride. Don't know how else to put it, but yeah, I've got nothing else to say. This is like by far the craziest car that I've ever been in my life. It frightens me, and that frightened me, and gosh.
It should frighten me if it was my car as well.
Cheeky. All I heard from you, like I've seen on the Facebook, it just kept saying, Eric, more boost, and more boost. That's all you know. That's all you're known for. Eric Big Top needs more boost, literally. Gosh. But now there's nothing.
Been great fun, mate. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Finally got round to doing it. And,
yeah, definitely.
very much enjoyed it.
So yeah. Well then, Eric, thank you very, very much. It's a pleasure. Come September, we'll see what that brings us.
Yeah, as I said, we've got every intention to go. I don't know if Simon's booked tickets yet or anything else, but we are going to go to it. I'll bring a jack and whatnot down to change in the bus.
About a Skyline would be like this, and I can tell you it's better than what I thought it would be. Literally, you don't expect how fast this thing goes. 1 minute you're at like 20-30 miles per hour, next minute you're at 60 miles per hour, like that. This is such a crazy car. So I'm just gonna end it right now. Tell me what you think. Drop the comments down below. You know, put anything you want to know about the car, the next videos. Anybody else that want their cars featured, if they think there's a faster car or a car that's as good as this, drop it down below. You know, get in contact on the Instagram, which is hood_Stig. And that's it. And just share the video to see what people think about this video. And yeah. Thumbs up. Let's see if there's any more. We'll see what more videos come by which will come close to this car, because at the moment this is the first video, and by far this is the best video I've ever made. Thumbs up, 10 out of 10. I give it 11 out of 10. So that's it. So I'm gonna call it a day. So peace out, Stig, Badges out.